Dear leader John Steenhuisen says those who accuse his party of becoming whiter under his leadership haven't been studying the official opposition. His comments come ahead of the DA's elective conference this weekend, where he's widely expected to be re-elected to his post. Newzroom Afrika's Ziyanda Ngcobo has the details.
DA leader John Steenhuisen has rejected a view that the party has gone back to catering for white people and their interests. He says while the organization is looking to expand its base ahead of the 2024 polls, there's no substance to allegations that its strategy is to place white male colleagues at the forefront of local government in order to attract its Africana base, which was lost in previous elections.
No, it's not part of the strategy, and it would be a very foolhardy strategy for any party. Many people say, you've got to consolidate the base or have growth. I don't see it as that. I don't see it as an either or. I see it as an and. Of course, you have to look after your anchor tenants as your base. A political party would be silly not to do that. But you would be equally suicidal if you weren't looking to grow the party.
When probed about the DA's arrogance during coalition negotiations, Steenhuisen concedes that the organization can do better, but says there also needs to be a level of maturity and understanding from smaller parties that they carry a bigger mandate from voters.
It was very unfortunate what happened in Joburg, but I am not going to allow on my watch double dealing to be taking place behind the party's back with parties like the EFF, because we saw what happened when we were in that situation in 2016 under the former Mayor Herman Mashaba, where we ended up dancing to the EFF's tune because we were reliant on them to stay in power.
The DA is looking to capitalize on the clawing back of electoral gains after declining by around 6% in 2019. During the local government elections, the party grew to around 23%, which brings them closer to their previous highest peak since the dawn of democracy. Steenhuisen says their trajectory looks to continue rising despite rejecting redress policies such as black economic empowerment.
What we've seen with the ANC's model of economic redress particularly is a transfer from one elite to another elite. And that is why we still have 30 million people living in poverty. Let's use VBS Bank, for example. There was a black-owned bank, but it didn't shield black depositors from the corruption and maladministration. So I think that what the government's policy and where they've gone wrong, and I think the intentions were always good, but you've got to measure every policy by its outcome.
Steenhuisen says the leader of the official opposition says their strategy going into next year's polls will be capitalizing more on the governing party's failings, such as the current energy crisis, but the ultimate goal remains to bring the ANC below 50%. For Newzroom Afrika on Channel 405, I'm Ziyanda Ngcobo in Johannesburg.